Alright, welcome to my third video, what if they had 3D? So we are working on this penny farthing bicycle, that's old-fashioned bicycle in the 1800s and early 1900s with a very big wheel in the front and a very small wheel, relatively small wheel on the back. And the reason why it was called penny farthing is it was named after two coins. The small wheel is called penny and the big wheel is called farthing, British coins back then. And why was this a big wheel on the front? Because they didn't have change yet. Maybe they had it, but they didn't use it. There was a lot of development in bicycle in the early days. Finally, they figured out, let's make a change with a small spur on the rear wheel and a big spur on where the pedals are, and the pedals are then mounted in the middle. And then that's like how they finally figured out how to make this more comfortable, because a big wheel is not the most easy way to ride, right? So now the third element that I would like to make is the hub for the small wheel to begin with, and let's just start. I'm going to make a new part again, and I'm using the standard millimeter template. I'm going to use, I'm going to save it as hub 02 penny, and I don't use the first one yet because it's more complicated. I just want to keep it simple. Let's just add some dimensions again. I don't know, I just need to guess things. So hub DR01, what will be the diameter of the hub? Let's say, I don't know, 140 millimeter, and then we had and now there is something that I would like to show you also. Hub spikes number, and it will be a unitless number. And now we have the question, like, what happens if the number of spikes change in the penny wheel, right? So let's make it number 01. So we can actually link that part on this part with this part. So let's try that. So we're gonna link. I used to have Excel. I do it now with Inventor itself. So the rim, the penny rim, that's what we want to see. That will be the boss. Okay, so the rim is the boss now, and we're going to connect it. And we're going to say, okay, these are the user parameters that I made. And let's say we don't need this one. We don't need the width, we don't need the height, we don't need the chamfers, we don't need the fillets. Spike hole, we need the diameter. And then the spike number. And then it asks, do you want to check it out? Because you need to check it out. That checking out in the vault means you are going to put this element, this part, you're going to take it from the vault and you're going to put it on the local system. It's probably there already, but you just want the latest version. So I say yes, so yes to all. And then we can connect it. So it says 36 spikes. So we're just gonna use this little button, list parameters, and this spike number. There you have it. Now, if I change the spikes number in the rim, then you will see it changed here as well. Then you can make another connection, and that is the hub spikes hole dia 01. Oops, 01, and that is. And again, if we change this name, it will change here as well. So the name is not completely consistent, but for the moment I just leave it. And here you see the results. So this is 1.5 millimeter. This is here 1.5 millimeter. This is 36 spikes. This is 36. So that is determined now, and I think we need to use these things as much as we can because it makes the whole design more controllable. You can also use an Excel sheet. I don't do it now, but that will work as well. So let's start. I'm going to use the XY plane again. I know people have different opinions. At the moment it doesn't really matter to me. Let's add something else, and that's the hub length 01. There probably more lengths, but let's see what will be the length. Let's see, I don't know, 150 millimeters. So, and the hub will look something like this. Let's just try something. You see here the coordinates. You can see what kind of size you're gonna make. Okay, so I think it will be something like this. I'm gonna make it simplified first. You can always make it more complicated. I'm gonna mirror things. When you select, and that's in many CAD software, from top left to bottom right, you select everything which is fully in this rectangle. When you do it from bottom right to top left, you select everything what crosses this rectangle. Let's see. So here, these two horizontal lines, these big ones on the bottom, they are crossing also this rectangle. So you select that too. But since we cannot mirror that, we can mirror them. We don't want to mirror it, we already have them. I just select this way, and now I say mirror, and I say Y. Mirror line is the Y-axis. I don't know if it does it. It doesn't do it. Okay, I need to make the projection. Right, and I'm gonna click this line to make it a construction, and I'm gonna project the X-axis too, and I make this a center line again. And now I'm gonna mirror, and then mirror line is this one. The Y-axis apply done. And then we're going to extend these lines so they are nicely connected. So there's no opening now, which means that you can really revolve it. And I'm going to add some dimensions. Habdia 01, that is 140 millimeter. Something like this. Oh, let's click the dimension. Many people click this line, but when you click the middle point, the line can also go on an angle. I don't want that, so I just click the full line, and I click the center line, and you see that it makes a diameter immediately. So Habdia 01 will be a little bit smaller. And the length will be, yes, so let's first make length okay, and now we're going to move these lines a little bit to make it more realistic. You see, because it's mirrored, I change these lines and the other one goes with me, see? So I'm going to make another length, hub length 02, let's say that is 140 also, and then you can also do this, hub thickness 01. Let's say that is so that's the thickness of this little ring. Let's say that is 5 millimeters. So this is hub thickness. Yeah, that looks right. And then we make this length, hub length, not 01 but 02, right? So yeah, that looks about right. Let's make an angle. Hub angle 01. Let's say 30 degrees. And that is this angle. And then I call it hub chamfer 01, hub chamfer 01, and let's say that is 10 millimeters. It says over constraint, what's going on? I don't believe it actually. Why is it over constrained? It is over constrained because of this, but you can change this one, right? So let's call it this one. Right, and now it is still purple because this one is not settled yet. So we need to have the inner diameter, right? So hub dia 02, well, what shall we say? I don't know, 50 millimeter, just guessing. And the thickness, we make the same thickness. Oh, you know what? I'll change this in thickness. Chamfer 01, hub thickness 02, and then we say I'm going to remove this one, I'm going to make this hub thickness 02. See that I made a typo again. I don't like two. There you are. And then we're going to say, okay, you. Apparently they are already connected. I don't know why it is. I think they are connected because I made them connected accidentally. It's okay. So we're going to say it's almost hub diameter 02. There you are. This makes sense. It's fully constrained, and we're now able to this needs to be gone, by the way. I see trim. Right. And now you make this construction line as well. For this case it doesn't matter. Let's just leave it there because it's more clear, right? So now we say finish. F6. F6 is like sort of a zoom all command. And then we're gonna revolve it. There you are. This looks about right. We need to make a fillet here. I'll do that later. Well, let me do it now. Hub, fillet, 01. I called them all hub before because otherwise you get confused with the other parameters from the other part, right? So let's say 5mm, and I can do it in the model or I can do it in the, it doesn't matter too much. Fillet 01. It looks kind of grey, as if it is made of clay. I use this one too. Fillet this one too, and this one too. Now it looks more smooth. And then we say, okay, let's give it the material. Steel mild. Assign to selection. There we are. This looks more realistic, right? Don't you agree? And then we have a small fillet. Let me not forget this. Let's just do it this way. Copy, and then I can just change the name to, and let's say that's 2mm. Small fillet. Two. There you are. Now it looks a lot smoother, right? Okay. Now we need to make these holes in it, and let's just, I don't know, let's just start somewhere. So I make a sketch, I just click this disk, and then we're going to make one hole, one point. I just put it here randomly because I want to use the axis that I'm going to project to make it in the right place, to put them in the right place. So we're going to use this one, that makes it construction line, project geometry, Y and X. Then X, okay. And I say, okay, this point I'm going to connect here. And now I'm going to make a diameter, hub, spike, PCD, (01). So that is the diameter where the spikes are coming on. Let's say that is like 120. I don't know, just guessing, you can always change it. And it's actually half of it, so pitch circle diameter divided by 2, 60. That's about right. Okay, and now we make this hole. We already had a hole diameter, I believe. Did we have it? Yep. Spike hole diameter, right? That's 1.5. So we finish the sketch. The sketch is just one point, one dot. And then you click this one for the hole, spike hole. I'm not going to use this one. I'm going to use our own hub spike hole diameter, and it looks a little bit, something's wrong here. This is a very thin hole, I don't believe this. What is going on? I think the hole should be thicker. I don't know why it looks very small to me. So it is actually correct, but is this diameter correct? Let's see. So here we have measure. For some strange reason, Inventor, you always need to add this measure button. I would say that would be button number 1 almost, but apparently they don't do it. Let's see, how much is this thing? 140 millimeter. Does it make sense? 140 millimeter? Yeah, I think so. Let me measure it with my hands. My little. It might be the half of it. Let's just change these dimensions. So let's say, let's say 75. Let's say 70. Let's say 70 also. Let's see what happens. And now we have some kind of a problem. And I know why, because the hub diameter PCD is not right. It should be 60 then. And it's also hidden because of the fillets, so I'm going to remove these fillets, not the sketches. And this one too. These work planes. I'm not sure. No, we don't need to redefine on this work plane. Yes. And now I'm going to edit this sketch. Something is not completely the way I expected, which happens a lot with engineering. So you especially when you engineer out of, you know, free hand, as it were, you end up with a lot of these issues. So let's just leave this for a moment, and then we're gonna basically work on the sketch and change that a little bit. The sketch 70, 50. Let's make this 50 smaller, so that is, let's make it 35. And then, now this makes a lot more sense. And let's see what's happening with this sketch. Redefine. So now the hole is I don't know why it's. I see what happens. This line is purple now. That means that it lost its connection. I'm going to do it again. Project the y-axis. I make it the construction line, otherwise it's so thick. And when I pull this one, it is, see, it's not connected. So I'm going to connect it again to this line. There you are. And now it's still not happy. What's going on, man? I'm just going to delete this whole thing. I'm going to do it again. This can go gone also. Okay, so I'm going to do it again. Put a dot here somewhere. Project a line. Y. Make it the construction line. That's not really necessary, by the way, but I just like, it makes me feel better, basically. So now this PCD, right, and now you make a hole again. It still feels a little bit off, but we'll figure it out later. I'm going to add some fillets again. One. So all these things have now a fillet with a radius of 5 millimeter. And then this thing is a little bit too thick. That is it, 5 millimeter, right? That is I think not really true. So I'm going to change that to, where is it? I think it's this one, 3 millimeter. Update. This looks better, right? Even 3, I think it's even 2. Update, right, yeah. And now we make this little the second fillet, where is it? Where are you, fillet? I make that 1, I make it 0.5. And now I'm going to fillet this one. No, let's make it 1, because that's actually how it is, in my view. Fillet. 2. There you are. Okay, and now we're going to multiply these holes. Actually, I'm going to shift this one. So now we're going to pattern this whole circular pattern of this hole, and I'm going to the rotating axis, the x-axis, and we're going to use our number that we found here, right? So spike, hub, spike, number, that one. Well, this looks more realistic. I'm not sure it's completely correct, but it looks a lot more realistic. Okay, well, and you see here, this one is connected with his master, right? So let's save this one, Ctrl S, save, and then we're going to check it in, and we see you at the next video. Thank you very much.